Welcome back, everybody. So you've seen him on the news. You probably heard his accent before. We haven't really talked yet to James Mahon, how he ended up here on News 12. But first of all, every time I say your name, I go, Mahon. Like, I add a little bit there. That's the correct way to say it. How did you end up an Irish guy in Chattanooga, James?
It's a long, long story. I think.
Well, we got a little bit of time. Go ahead.
That's true. I think I finished grad school probably summer of last year. It seems like a long time ago. And you normally, when you finish grad school in England or Ireland, you go straight into usually where you interned.
Right.
Or you try to stay in that kind of area. And I was at BBC Leeds in the north of England. And it had crossed my mind up to that point that I'd like to come back to America. I'd spent a summer in New York working at Foot Locker as one of the most wonderful cultural experiences in Manhattan. And I thought I'd love to come back and try something different. And I spoke to a gentleman I found on Twitter. His name is Jim Clancy. He's a news anchor for CNN. And we corresponded over and back, and he said, it's going to be hard if you want to try and do the news in America, because your accent is different, you're not from the country, and he said you're in a catch-22 scenario, because you have to go to a market that's, to find a market that'll take you, first of all.
Sure.
And often it'll be in a place that you're not familiar with. And I looked at the Nielsen rankings, and Tennessee, Alabama, all the way to New Mexico,
right.
Was the line that was drawn, and I just started applying like crazy. I think I applied to, give or take, over 180 TV stations in 12 states.
And were we the only ones that said, hey?
No? There was a few more who responded.
Get a little bit of nibbles out there, huh?
There's a few more that responded, but Chattanooga and the choo-choo has an international dimension.
Sure.
And I came down and I was just drawn to the place. It's very, very vibrant, very diverse, and you have this kind of image, this perception of what the South is going to be like. You think it's going to be a Dukes of Hazzard type of thing.
But it's not, is it?
No, it's
not at all.
Universities and football and great, rich culture and geography, food, music. It's a fantastic place, very, very different to what you think.
And because of that, because it's so different for James, what we decided we would start off a recurring series tonight for Prime News, where you look at Chattanooga culture from your own Irish background. And tonight, we've got our first story. What are you going to show us tonight, James?
Tonight, I'm going to kind of do something that I think most outsiders, when they think of the South, especially when you're from 4,000 miles away, you think of line dancing. You think of going back and forth. You think of the boots,
right.
And you think of the music. And often in your own head, you expect it to go better than it does. And I decided to give it a shot. So we'll see what happens.
Take it away.
Line dancing, southern fun. Looks easy, but man was it difficult. Vicky Pearson has been dancing and teaching line and square dancing for years, and talks of how it has evolved.
From country music to now we dance to rap, hip-hop, we do rhythm and blues, we do contemporary pop, we do all genres of music.
She decided to put me through the paces before her class came in at Almond Hall. One dancer tells me a year after he took up line dancing the benefits for the mind and body.
Well, I feel great. I've lost 20 pounds, which is good. Strengthened my legs, and it's great. As I say, I've just met lots of new friends, and it's wonderful.
Videographer Ashley Henderson lent his Chattanooga charm to my struggles in the hope I would be ready before the class came in. Things started off well, but I wasn't as physically fit as those around me. I took a breather with an experienced dancer.
I'd say if I can do it, anybody can. I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but I enjoy it. I think anybody who likes music would enjoy it. It's fun to move with the music.
Learning that line dancing isn't river dancing at Almond Hall, James Mahon, WDEF News 12.
I like seeing the river dancing at the end there, James. Now, Ashley Henderson, our photographer, actually was doing pretty well there, wasn't he?
He's quite skilled. You definitely know that he'd seen it before, done it before. I YouTubed it, I Wikipedia'd it. Nothing can prepare you for having to just keep it up and keep going.
But you did a good job, though. And you know what? James is already getting a lot of feedback on his Facebook page. Let's take you to there right now from our iPad. There it is. This is his page on Facebook. If you have any suggestions or him on Southern experiences he should try out, this is where you can find him. This is how you spell his name, James, M-A-H-O-N. Even though it sounds like Mahon, it's Mahon is the way you spell it, but it's Mahon, the pronunciation. Did I get that right? You
got it perfect. I'd like this opportunity to thank everyone that I've met in the 7 or 8 weeks that I've been here. You meet people from all walks of life, all backgrounds, people at gas stations, North Georgia, during the tornado. People who have lost everything and they still feel the opportunity to say welcome and thank you for being here. I'd like to thank them, take the
All
opportunity to say thank you for letting me be here and for
All
welcoming
right,
me.
James. Well, we'll say thank you, and we'll be right back in just a minute. Stay with us.